So, kicking off with Doctor Strange.
Well, Doctor Strange is the weird one. Like, we've known it's been happening for a long time, and we know Scott Derrickson is directing. People are attached to it. We knew it was going ahead, but it wasn't officially given a date. Probably a big talking point this week would have been Cumberbatch being rumoured to play the part. Yeah. Like, there's lots of actors have been in the mix for it. Joaquin Phoenix has been rumoured, but over the last week it seems like Cumberbatch has come to the forefront.
It was suggested it was a done deal, wasn't it?
He can definitely play very intelligent, play Sherlock, but he has that feeling of being quite egotistical, even though he's a very nice man.
He's a very nice man.
And how do you know this, Chris?
I've interviewed him a few times, and the last time I interviewed him, which was a couple of weeks ago for The Imitation Game, which is coming out very soon and is a very good film. But at the end of the interview, I decided to put the Doctor Strange question to him.
So this was just a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, before any kind of announcement, just to gauge any kind of interest. And I think his reaction is quite interesting.
We do a show called The Superhero Show on IGN. Yeah. And one character we've all agreed we'd love to see you play is Doctor Strange.
Oh, right,
Do you know anything about that character? And is
no, tell me about Doctor Strange.
He's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, is he?
He has a goatee.
Oh, right.
Is that
like Robert Downey Jr.? I mean, as in,
but more magical.
Oh, I see.
Is that a character you'd ever be interested in playing if it ever crossed your path?
I don't know, maybe, maybe. No, I know a little bit about Doctor Strange. Yeah, maybe.
That's quite a cheeky response.
It was.
Yeah, do you see that? He keeps looking at the camera. He looks at the camera 2 times when he's drinking the water. I think when you put the question to him initially and you say, we do this superhero show, there's a moment, and we've like paused it, and you kind of, I think he goes, oh, how do I handle this?
Yeah.
And I think he's gone down the route of being kind of jokey about it, because he knows that probably the announcement's a few weeks away.
Yeah. And Rich, can you just play the bit where he drinks the water again?
Oh, I see.
Is that a character you'd ever be interested in playing if it ever crossed your path?
I don't know, maybe, maybe. No, I know a little bit about Doctor Strange.
He goes a bit Brent.
I particularly like the bit where he drinks the water.
Yeah, he's like buying himself some thinking time, I think.
So he was obviously in talks. I mean, from the way he reacted, he was obviously in talks, and even off camera, we kind of laughed about it a little bit about how he couldn't really say anything, and it's complicated and tricky characters to play. But since then, so I guess we were all kind of gearing up towards it being announced in this, Feige announcing it at this event, but he didn't. And I believe the question was put to him, why haven't you announced Benedict Cumberbatch? And he said, if it were confirmed, we would have introduced him today. So and then when I talk about other casting. So I guess negotiations are still happening.